People often ask me, what do I do to begin practicing the Mucusless Diet Healing System? Where do I start? So in this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step process on exactly what you need to do to begin practicing the Mucusless Diet Healing System today. I'm Professor Spira, and I've practiced the Mucusless Diet Healing System for over 18 years. I've helped thousands and thousands of people learn about the Mucusless Diet Healing System and use it to transform their lives to levels unimaginable and overcome things that they were told you are not supposed to be able to overcome naturally without all of the gizmos and gadgets and supplements and pills and all that kind of stuff that they want to sell you. Mucusless Diet Healing System is all about natural healing. Okay, step number one, first you got to read the Mucusless Diet Healing System by Professor Arnold Ehret. This is the annotated version, so I recommend reading the annotated version. We have an audiobook version of the annotated version that's available. It's actually available online on YouTube. It's available on Spotify. You can get it on Audible. But however you get it, you have to read this book. You can't just try to go online or look at a bunch of my videos or a bunch of free content. Invest a few bucks, or whatever you need to do. Just read it. Just read the book. It's so hard sometimes with people, they want to avoid reading the book. It's like for whatever reason. So don't be that person. Don't be that person that just overhears a bunch of information about Arnold Ehret and the Mucusless diet and develop this concept of what you think it is. Read the book. Thank you. Number two, you're gonna want to purchase an enema bag. At least get the order in. Now, depending on where you're living, you might be able to find one at a local store, places called CVS, pharmacies, Walgreens. Some of them will have enema bags. What you often will need to do is sometimes have to ask them where it's located, or check out the feminine hygiene section, and it'll be in this section because a lot of the enema bag kits come with more than just the enema tip in it. They got the douche process, the hot water bottle hookup, so it's kind of an all-in-one package. We're most interested in using it for its enema capabilities. Get yourself an enema bag. We have a video called How to Do a Lemon Juice and Distilled Water Enema. You can watch that video. You can go on our blog and see the step-by-step instructions on how to do a lemon juice and distilled water enema. But the point of this is on day one, you can at least either go purchase the enema bag or you can put an order in it. So within the next few days, like if you get it off of Amazon or something like that, in the next few days, you will have it in your possession. Step number three, prep for the store. Get ready to go to the store. So I would say reread the transition diet lessons and take out a piece of paper or go open up a Word document and start kind of making some notes about some of the things that you might want to put on a list, on a shopping list, and actually start to develop your own shopping list. And now if you go down below, there is the link for the free recipes. There's actually an introduction to Mucusless diet menu planning that's in that same download. Because when you download, you get 3 different PDFs. One of those PDFs is an introduction to mucus-free menu planning, and I want you to read that, and that will give you information you need to be able to create your own menu plan based on your current schedule. So if you get up at 6 o'clock and you go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, you'll be able to effectively insert the Mucusless diet into that kind of schedule. So I won't go into all those details in this video because it's talked about in good detail in that document. So right now, if you haven't done it yet, go down hit that link, download your free gifts that include the 5 free recipes as well as the free menu planning report. And it's basically an introduction to the Mucusless Diet Healing System. So check that out. But the main thing is you want to prepare for the store. You don't want to just walk into the store not knowing what's going on at all. It's going to be an adventure, because if you've never eaten like this, you've never really been into fruits and vegetables like that, then it's look at it as an adventure. It's something fun. You're exploring some new stuff, foods that you've never eaten before that you didn't think you'd be able to just eat. You know, you get opportunity to check them out. So be ready to go to the store, create your shopping list. Number 4 is to then go to the store, and you're gonna spend most of your time in the produce section. But if you do go to get some processed things or stuff in cans or some other things that are laid out and discussed in the Mucusless Diet Healing System book, there are some packaged and processed things that we use for transitional purposes. But everything that you buy that's in a package or in a can or something like that, get in the habit of always looking at the ingredients. Look at the ingredients on the side of the can, on the side of the box. Get in the habit, and if something has too many, it's basically if you're looking at something and it's got like a big list of ingredients and half of the things on there you can't read, you don't even know what it means, you're gonna wanna try to pick something else. And so this is part of the research that you do when you're in the store. You get acquainted with everything. So all the stuff that you used to eat, go look at those ingredients and be, you know, you get a little scared. But you also, as you're exploring new things, just take a look and make sure there's no hidden dairy in there that's just unnecessary. I mean, it's just unnecessary to get like some crackers that have like milk in it or whatever, you know, some things that you're getting for transitional purposes. Just be cognizant. So, but that's what you do. You got to go to the store, because essentially it's like it's information. Then the action you have to take is you have to get the stuff that you need to move forward. And in this case, we're dealing with food, so you have to go to the store or a farmer's market or wherever you get food at. You gotta do that. So that's like an important step that's sometimes not really talked about. People just sort of skip over that and they're fixated on what you should and shouldn't eat and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, this is a whole mindset process. And so those store missions they're important. It's important to understand what they are. It's important to have a mucus-free mindset when you're going into stores and understand and know that your addiction can pop up at any point. So you can be walking through the store feeling all good, like, yeah, I'm mucus-free, you know, and then nah. You can just be rolling. Then all of a sudden, you get a whiff of something that's not out of your system, some old poisons that hasn't left yet, and you're like, ooh, all of a sudden you start craving something like that you know darn good and well you ain't supposed to eat on the Mucusless diet. And you're just like, ugh. And we call that the crackhead mode. You know, you walking through the store like shaking a little bit, like, like really wanting whatever that thing was. And there's advanced techniques to even deal with that kind of stuff that we can talk about in other places. I talk about that in Spira Speaks. That's this book, man. There's some case studies and things. We get into some of that kind of stuff. More advanced transitional things that you don't have to worry too much about at this particular moment, but just understand the importance and the gravity of going to the store. That's the next step. Step number 5 is to purchase a juicer. Now, depending on how much money you got saved up or whatever, you at least want to get a cheap juicer. At the bare minimum, get you a citrus juicer so you can juice your citrus fruit and your lemons for your enemas, and if you get a bunch of oranges, you can do that. There's other cheaper things that you can get, and I used those old original Jack Lanes for years, but because they were cheap, I would go through them a lot. So if all you have is, you know, $100 or something or less, you can go online and just get something. You know, just get some kind of juicer. Now, when you start getting a little more advanced, or if you want to go ahead and make that investment, then something like the Tribus Slow Star juicer, and then you guys like the Omega, Green Star Elite. I have a Champion juicer as well as an old Jack LaLanne Pro juicer. There's a whole world of juicers, and so you can spend years studying this stuff. Check out my friend Steve Prusek, the Juice Guru. He's got some great books on juicing and some courses on juicing. John of discountjuicers.com. He's got a lot of information about different types of juicers and a lot of reviews where he checks different things out. I've always dug a cat named Dan McDonald and hit a lot of his videos where he makes juice. And there's older videos. Almost every video is like a juice video. So you just started getting yourself into that mindset of, okay, juicing is about to go down. This is about to be a part of the lifestyle. I juice almost every day, some type of juice, something's happening. And so it's an investment, an appliance that you'll use every day if you get really serious and you start going down this path. So you are going to want to at least begin investigating. Get you some kind of cheap thing that you can get immediately. You can get the, some of the stuff off of Amazon. You can go down to Bed Bath and Beyond Body Work. I just call it Bed Bath and Beyond Body Works. I say they need to put those two companies together, but get into it. That as an assignment, just get into it. Get you a good juicer. All right, number 6, make your first transition diet meal. So now you've been to the store, you've gotten the stuff that you need. While you're at the store, maybe you could also get a few utensils or something if you need that, get some updated stuff. So actually that's another, it's not maybe in the top 10 list, but it's also a good idea if you're coming from eating a lot of meat and dairy and that kind of stuff. As you transition off of that, you're gonna wanna get clean cookware that's never touched any dead animal flesh or dairy and that kind of stuff. You're gonna wanna get into that. It's a little bit more advanced, not necessarily something you need to do in the first day. I just wanted to throw that out there as a little side bonus. Okay, so you make your first transition diet meal. Check out the recipes in the book or wherever you get your recipes from, and you already did your planning, you've already planned out your menus, planned out the recipes. Now you just need to execute. You have all the stuff that you needed from the store. Now it's time to make your first meal. Follow those instructions, make that meal. It's gonna taste really good. Step number 7, if you are ready, willing, and able, it's time to do a lemon juice and distilled water enema. I have a whole video on it, a whole blog post. Click the link down below. I'll throw it down below so you can get all that information about what they are, why to do it, what it's all about, how it factors into Mucusless Diet Healing System. So you can do this day. You want to make sure there's enough room between when you eat and the lemon enema, so you might want to do it the next morning after you've had a natural bowel movement, or do it on day number 2. Eat early enough and then do it in the evening where there's hours in between eating and doing the enema. Check out those links though. They're very detailed, the best and most detailed information that you will find on doing lemon juice and distilled water enemas. Step number 8, reread lesson 27 from the Mucusless Diet Healing System book. And this is the lesson, enforcement of elimination by physical adjustments to exercise, sunbathing, internal baths, and bathing. So this is going to begin the natural products process in terms of what kind of soap do you get and what kind of, all that kind of stuff. Now, some of those details aren't necessarily in there. I mentioned some of that kind of stuff in the notes section. Eric doesn't necessarily tell you what type of soap and that kind of stuff, but everything is about creating the natural mindset so that everything in your life, you should never put anything on your body that you can't eat, because your pores eat whatever it's just like putting it in your mouth and drinking it down. Your pores absorb that stuff. So if you're putting these toxic chemicals that they sell out here, some of these soaps are filthy. Some of this stuff is ridiculous. these really harsh chemicals that you clean with. You can make natural stuff at home, but you got to get to it. So not saying to just, like, I don't force people right in that to say like, hey, you got to do everything all at once. So you got to change all your soaps and you got to go through your house. And like on day one, it's like with me, it took me a little while, and I finally got to a point where I was hanging out with more people that were into natural living. And one guy got me hip to the soap. He was like, hey man, it's cool it's a lot better to have the good soap. And I was like, okay. And I started using biodegradable soap and things that were from the natural soaps aisle. And I was like, man, this stuff feels so much better than the old regular stuff. And so just be cognizant, but that's a good section to reread so you get re-exposed to that concept. It's going to give you the understanding, importance of exercise. We have videos that demonstrate the exercises that are from the Mucusless Diet book. You can find those on the channel. And so this is just going to culture your understanding, bring in some of these other elements that are, as I like to call, ancillary therapies, bring those into the fold. Air baths. Well, what's an air bath? Well, read the Mucusless Diet book, find out. Sunbathing, these kinds of things. And so it's good to reinforce that information at this point. Once you've had that first meal, you've had that, then boom. Because the next day, if it's warm and it's sunny out, maybe you can go out and get some sun. You can have a little sun bath, or you can do an air bath in the morning. You can get into some stretching if you don't already have some kind of stretching or yoga practice that you're into. Check out Arnold Ehret's, try that out, compare it to what you already do. But to just be involved and take action is the key. Step number 9, prepare for fasting in the future. So at this point, you could consider reading Rational Fasting book or rereading the fasting sections of the Mucusless Diet Healing System. Either way, this is just more some things to think about. I don't rush people into fasting. As Ehret doesn't rush people into fasting, he transitions people into fasting. So you start with the so-called 24-hour day fast, or maybe you start with eating only one meal a day for a period of time, if that's something that you need to do in a course and a path that you need to go down. And I got a bunch of videos on fasting. There's a fasting playlist video if you want to check that out. I won't get into a lot of that in this video, but just understand that that's something that you're going to want to start thinking about. It's not something that you got to start doing immediately. You might not have your first fast for several weeks or several months, but when you get into the Mucusless Diet, there's certain body cues that your body will give you when it wants you to fast. And so you want to learn how to read those cues. It's very, very, very important to be able to do that. So that is an element, because again, we're putting together all of these different aspects of the system. If you even look at this list, we're putting together the various parts that make up this wheel, that make up this system. Talking about because it's not just a diet. You got your diet, you got to organize the diet properly. You got your enemas, but you got to do them at the right time and the right way. You got your exercise, but you want to know when and why to do that. There's a paradigm shift that you have to go through when you're dealing with the Mucusless Diet, because we're coming at these things that are traditionally come from really different spaces. We're coming at it from a different, more natural, more rational angle, in my opinion, than these other, like, I want to be big. I want to be big. Well, why? Do you want, you want to be big? Do you also want colon cancer? I want to be big. I want to be big. Why? I want. Why? Like, that don't even process. Like, can you think? You process? I want to be big. All right, well, cool. Good luck. It's like there's a sophistication going down this path that you have to have. That's why we don't start with a food list. We start with a book. and an assignment that says you gotta read. If you really want to be serious about this, you gotta put some time in. You gotta read the information, get the ground rules straight. So you're just not making things up on the fly. Get the ground rules straight, and then move forward. Because that's what it's all about. So step number 10, plug into the mucus-free community. At this moment right now, as I record this, we have a free Facebook group that you can join. If you're a member of the Insiders Club and you've already signed up for the Insiders Club, you can join that. But find us on Facebook, Professor Arnold there at Mucusless Diet Healing System support group. It is an open and public support group, so it's not a place we don't want you to necessarily come in there and give a whole lot of personal information and ask a lot of personal questions. It's not the space for that. Facebook is not the space for that, even in my opinion, even in the private groups. But I know a lot of that goes down there. But I don't recommend that. At the moment that I'm recording this, we haven't released it yet, but very soon we're going to be releasing a private membership association and a forum for members of the private membership association. And that will be a private group, a private social media platform where practitioners of the Mucusless Diet, people that are members of this group will be able to join. And in this group, we will have a bit more protection, we'll have the privacy, be able to talk about what we want to talk about. So we may be able to get a little bit deeper into individual people's cases there. And by that point, we're also going to have some, we'll have some mucus-free coaching and consulting will be set back up. Those opportunities, potentially, they're not going to be all the time. They're not going to be available year round. So it is going to be something you'll have to pay attention to. And I'll talk more about that in some future videos. But plug into the community. Every Wednesday, we have a free group video / audio meetup. And the links to that are posted in the group. You can call in or you can video in. And these meetings go sometimes for 12 hours straight. All night and then all morning, people come in and out of the conversation. We're just hanging out, talking about the Mucusless Diet. That happens every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's another opportunity. So there's opportunity, and there's more developing every day because the community is growing. People are bringing things to the table. And so this is a great opportunity to get plugged into the community, especially right now, and be a part of the growth, be a part of this movement, pushing things forward. There's a great opportunity for that right now because we are pushing, we're taking this thing to the next level, and we want you to be a part of that. So plug into the mucus-free community, get that support. It makes it so much easier. When you plug into that energy and that frequency, it makes it easier to practice the diet. It makes it easier knowing that your families might not be on board. They might be against what you're doing. Your friends and family and significant others and all that kind of stuff is hard. The social part of this diet is hard. You can be helped by plugging into this community that we've built. And that has always been a passion and a mission of mine, is to build a community to make it easier for people to plug in and to get access to other people that are practicing this diet. Might not be in your same city or be that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff will come in time as more people plug in and we start to have the local meetups and that kind of stuff. All that stuff's coming. But right now, getting started, plug into the community, it makes practicing the diet so much easier. Okay, so this is a bonus step, step 11. If you really are really serious about practicing the Mucusless Diet Healing System and you want someone to hold you by the hand and take you through all of the information in this book in great detail, then you're gonna wanna enroll in the Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course. This e-course is something that I put my blood, sweat, and tears in. Years and years of, just years and years of sweat went into developing that thing. And I started working on the e-course back in like 2011, 2012, and so it took a lot longer than I expected, but I didn't want to cut corners. I didn't want to do it in a way where, oh, it's easier to do it like this, let me just hurry up and get it out. I wanted to make a course that would stand the test of time and do honor to Arnold Ehret's great work, because a lot of people don't realize that this book was a textbook for a course. This book wasn't supposed to actually stand alone. It wasn't written and is meant to be a standalone book. It was compiled as a course textbook to a course that Ehret personally taught to students. And so I try to, in the best way that I can, do that. It's a college level course on the Mucusless Diet Healing System. 8-week course. If you're not in it, if you have any interest in the Mucusless Diet Healing System, you're gonna wanna check that out. So hit the link down below if you're interested in enrolling in the course. There's some great bundles involved as far as being able to enroll in the course, get the books, all that kind of stuff. All the, the electronic versions of the books are all a part of the course. We got food prep videos, as I don't put a lot of those out. I don't have any food prep videos out on this channel as of yet. I'm probably gonna put something out at some point, but I got a bunch of recipes, a bunch of food prep videos that's in that e-course. So you don't wanna miss out on that. You do not wanna miss out on that, because the price of it is actually going to go up significantly fairly soon. So if you think just a little bit that you're interested in that, I highly recommend checking out Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course. All right, so that is your 10 plus 1 bonus, your 10 steps to begin practicing the Mucusless Diet Healing System right now. So I want you to take action. Don't just listen to this and, oh, that sounds good, I'll do it next week, or I'll do it next month, or oh, I'm raising some money for this. No, start this right now. Everything on here you can start doing right now. You got to eat something today, and it doesn't have to be McDonald's or Taco Hell. You're gonna eat, like I guarantee you're gonna eat something today, unless you're fasting or unless you're already in the camp. I'm not talking to you. You're gonna eat something today. So why not get the free resources that we even provide for you? Get your hands on the book, or listen to it. Go on Spotify, listen to the book, but take action, because that probably that most important initial action is going to the store. Instead of going like you're driving down the street, instead of going to McDonald's, pass McDonald's up, go to the store, go into the produce section, start buying produce on the list. Or go to the little health food section and get some stuff. But that's a habit that you're gonna have to get into. You gotta get out of the restaurant habits. You gotta get out of definitely the whole fast food habit, all that kind of stuff. You gotta start immediately. Don't wait. Even if tomorrow you're not on, at least today you can get started. So I thank you so much for tuning in. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and share this video with folks on social media, because YouTube hates us and does not want to give us any kind of love in terms of putting our videos out there organically. So the community has to support, and we had to push this content out there if we want more and more people to see it, because I truly believe that this is the key to put humanity back together. That this transitional technology, the systems involved in the Mucusless Diet Healing System, is the missing link, as Arnold Ehret says, to the human mind. It's that heavy, it's that important, it's that deep, and you're going to want to do whatever you need to do to get yourself together to practice this system. Focus on the system, focus on the mindset, focus on taking action right now. So I thank you so much for tuning in. And in fact, once you go to the store, and in the comment section, when you get back, just tell me that you went. Just that you did that. You went to the store. If you want to tell me what you bought, something like that. But just go to the store today or tomorrow and get started, and tell me in the comment section. So I'm gonna hold you accountable to that. So all right. So thank you so much, and until next time, peace, love, and breath.